All right, guys, welcome back to the Hunter Base Podcast. What do Maverick Hunters do when they're not hunting Mavericks? They go back to the base, recharge, shoot the shit. I'm your host, Zeromaster, and as always, I've got my regular co-host, Canadian Jutsu, here with me.
Hi, guys.
And before we get started, I just want to say that I didn't say anything to you, but I'm sure you'd be okay with this. This podcast is dedicated to the late, great Amira Akago, who passed away just after E3. So I'm not going to get into it. I talked about it in my update video. You talked about it in the RCG post that went up, so I don't want to get into it too much. But long and short, if you feel like there's nothing left and you think your only option is to off yourself, call the suicide hotline or talk to somebody, please. Anyways, off that somber note, talking about something that I'm sure Akago would have been really excited about, E3. We're going to talk about E3 2018. So the funny thing about this is if you listen to both this podcast and the River City Gamers podcast, Canadian Jutsu has already talked about E3 a little bit, so he might be a little more quiet on this.
Well, a little bit more quiet, but at the same time, I can focus a little bit more on talking about things that excited me, because when you're in a group of 4 people, you know, like you don't want to like overshadow somebody too hard. So
exactly, yeah. So if you want his expanded view and my view, this is the place to be. So, to start things off, this was before E3, and should we talk about the pre-E3 leaks thanks to Walmart?
I mean, yeah, we can give a little quick jaunt through what
a fucking train wreck.
It was like Canadian Walmart too, wasn't it?
Yeah, and it's funny because it's like everybody's like Unreal's like keep playing. I blame Canada. I'm like, well, it's an American company, so who really screwed up?
But I mean, like it may be an American company, but the people working in that Walmart are Canadian.
Yeah, that's true.
You know, so like I don't become an American citizen every time I walk into Walmart.
Someone fucked up at Walmart Canada, apparently. That's all we need to know, is that someone fucked up, and all the news got spoiled. Or not all the news, but a good chunk of the news got spoiled on what games were coming out. So, good job, Walmart.
Yeah.
Also, just real quick, I love their new commercials trying to be like, hey, we're just like Amazon, but you don't need a premium service for us.
You just need to come into our store.
No. Yeah. Like they're shipping to people's houses with 2-day shipping.
Oh, really?
And they're like, and their big thing is you don't need a subscription.
Oh, that means it can just get lost.
Yeah.
At least with Amazon Prime, it's like guaranteed. And if it doesn't show up, you can get almost a lot of things either resent to you very quickly, or in some cases get like 50% off certain things.
Yeah. Exactly.
I've only had one problem, and this is in Canada. I don't know what it's like in the States, but like I've only had one problem once, and they gave me 50% off a game.
Yeah, Walmart, you got me some hard to get games for low prices like Valkyria Chronicles HD, but you done fucked up. So, do you know what's funny? Remember how when I came to visit you, I said, "Oh, I was gonna pick that up," but I didn't have enough money to get you a game and pick it up. So I hid it behind like these shitty Xbox and PS3 sports games, and it was still there like 2 weeks later. No one thought to look, and that was the last copy of the game. So
see, it's that mentality. Then I think it's also something, because I worked in a game store for so long, that I know people do that. So whenever I see like Trials HD Fusion or whatever, it's like there, and I'm just like, if I just look to the back and boom, oh look, here's an actual good game hidden behind like 7 or 8 things. You shouldn't give your secret away, but people do it all the time. Yeah,
it's not a hidden secret. Everybody fucking does it. But like the thing is, the average gaming collector doesn't go to Walmart for games. So I wasn't, especially where I live. Like I'm not going to say exactly where I live, but I live somewhere that's like there's a higher concentration of people younger people because of like the schools we have here, but other than that, it's mostly old people. So I'm not too worried about the competition.
Yeah.
And but anyways,
like the good thing about Walmart is if you're looking for something from last generation or this generation, it's easy to get it cheap at Walmart. Mm-hmm. Whereas in like you can't get retro or anything major there.
Fallout New Vegas Game of the Year edition with all the DLC for 360, $10.
Yeah, but that's still last generation. I'm not talking about like you can find a Super Nintendo game there.
No.
Like when everybody says that you're collecting games, a lot of the times they think you're collecting games from like the 80s or the 90s, not from like the past 10 years. Like
not
the
like one
decade.
That's super hard to get, and then they re-release, and then like in limited quantity. Anyways, never mind.
Yeah.
So on to the actual stuff. So some more pre-E3. Apple did their Worldwide Developers Conference, and I'm not going to spend a ton of time on this. I was paid to watch it because I work for an IT company, and they do some Apple stuff. So I got to watch this and get paid for it. So I might be, I might be a little.
It's like going
biased.
to watch a movie, you know, back in school, and it's like, here, let's all watch the Shawshank Redemption together.
Yeah. When I say I was paid for it, they just said I had to stop everything and watch this thing for 2 hours. So like, at my work, I'm like, okay, sweet. So, but anyways, let me just talk about one thing, and it's gaming related. Apple was showing off more of their AR technology in conjunction with Metal 2. For those of you who don't know what that is, Metal 2 is a new piece of software built into all Apple devices or all Apple software so that game engines can be used on them. So, you know, the whole thing about I wanted a gaming computer and my parents bought me a Mac, that whole funny thing.
Yeah.
It's becoming less and less of a problem because they're going to start rolling that out. So, but the main thing they're focusing on this year is AR. So, augmented reality. They showed a couple of neat things that you can do with it, but the thing that I want to focus on is the game stuff they showed off. They have this like world building, like I don't even know what you would call this. It's like this building like 4-player game that you can play with any Apple device. And it's a multiplayer game. You just need a table. And people can join in if they have an Apple device mid-game and join the game. It's like a 4-player like action game that you play on a table where you just like shoot like Jenga bricks and shit at each other. It actually looks hilarious. I actually want to try it.
Okay. Hungry Hippos when?
Oh, AR. Oh my God, dude.
AR Hungry Hippos, man.
Okay. Yeah. Tim Cook. Get on this shit.
Get on this shit.
AR Hungry Hippos.
Come on, Hasbro.
You partner with Apple on this one. Come on, do me a favor. And then they showed the big game that they showed was the new AR Lego game. So how it works is it's an expanded reality, is what they called it. Okay. So they give you this Lego set. You build the Lego set, and then the game actually tracks the Lego set and expands the city around it. So you build this building with the Lego set, and it adds all the Lego. It adds like the Lego city, like all the Lego city things with it. So, and
how big of a scope is this?
This one is like you need a bit of a big room, I assume, or just a big table for this one.
Okay,
but like what it does is the device, when you load the game, it detects the thing that you built. So I think currently they only showed one Lego set, but I think they're making a whole line of these. And once it's seen it, it will build all the other stuff around it in AR. So on your device, you're kind of seeing like this stuff that's built all around it, and you can. It's kind of like it's weird. It's like GTA for kids, which I guess is what Lego City was.
Yeah.
But like this one is it's all based around the building you made and the buildings around it. So for example, one thing they showed off is somebody there was like you can actually see inside the building too that you built. So they already have it built off so that when it scans the building, it doesn't just scan the outside, it actually detects things on the inside and it adds stuff to it. So like for example, they had the Lego Batman stuff, like the Joker was on the roof throwing like pies at people or something from the roof.
Yeah.
And like you had and then somebody lit the building on fire. So you had to like add the like fucking what was it called? The fire engines in and whatnot. And it's a multiplayer game too, so other people can hop in just like the other one and start adding shit to your city. So like, if like, say you're just like, oh, I think a helicopter should be here. In fact, I think 6 helicopters should be right here.
Somebody could just come by. Is this through like phone cameras, or
you can use a phone or an iPad? I don't think it's going to work on Mac because you'd have to hold a Mac the entire time. But I know it works on the phones and the iPads. And I think it's coming to Apple Watch, but Apple Watch is a little limited.
And so they don't have their own VR headset or anything for this type of thing yet, do they?
No, they do. They actually, but the HTC Vive is compatible with the iMac Pro. So I would assume it's compatible with this game. I don't know. Currently, it's only mobile, what they showed off.
Okay.
It's just, I mean, I'm a little old for this. But, even, I mean, I could
like,
see...
I don't think even my, like, 8-year-old self would have really liked that type of thing.
I mean, I know stuff like Minecraft is popular, so I guess there's an appeal to it. That's why Apple's investing so much in the Lego company and the Lego game developers to make this thing.
Yeah.
So
Microsoft
it's interesting.
Owns the shit out of Minecraft.
It's interesting. So just to preface, like, I'm not super interested in. I'm not interested in the game. I'm interested more in the technology that they're developing for it.
Yeah.
Because like this is just one game. And like 2 games they show. They didn't show a lot because they're still working on stuff. But like, think of what they could add if like this takes off. Like VR is big. What if we started having games with VR and AR in it? I think that'd be really cool.
Oh, for sure.
But I want to close off by saying they didn't mention anything about VR this year, which is hilarious because last year they did a whole thing about, they had the Lucasfilm people make AR, like VR Star Wars stuff and all this stuff, and they not a single mention of it this year. I was just kind of like, you guys like pushed VR so hard last year. Why? What?
Well, see, that's the thing just about VR. Like even this year's E3, like going onto our topic, like there wasn't a big emphasis. All the games that were like really, really big, like 2 or 3 years ago, it was VR, this, Oculus Rift, that. Look at our PlayStation VR. It's so crazy. This year, they really didn't mention VR at all. It's because... it's still really expensive for the average player.
Maybe that's why the PlayStation VR had a price drop just before E3, because they price dropped that shit from $4.99 to $1.99 with a game. So, like, because like, of course, not in Canada. Yeah, I went into Walmart and EB. It's still the same fucking price, but like, it's like, I feel like $1.99 is a more manageable price for a VR headset than $500+.
Yeah, but like I even think about games that I actually want to play in VR, and like Resident Evil 7 is like the only thing that pops into my mind. Like actually, that's not true. Like Beat Saber looks really fun.
Beat Saber looks fun. I want to play Superhot in VR.
Yeah,
and I want to play. I want to play Resident Evil 7 in VR, and I want to play the Rick and Morty game in VR just because I love Rick and Morty. So. But and I've talked to other people who've played it, and they said it's actually really fun. So, I still have yet to try VR. I went to 2 gaming cons that had VR setups, and I didn't get a chance to use them.
Actually, they had it in one of our local malls. PlayStation had set up like a big booth.
Yeah,
and I was like, I guess I was there at the perfect time. There wasn't very many people, so I got to try it, and I was like, oh, it's pretty cool. They had me sit on a beach. It was really, really lame, actually. Yeah. They didn't really get you, all you did was like wander around. You look like an idiot, like watching other people doing it, because they just had you in this red carpet space and told you not to leave the red carpet.
I went to high school and am pretty good acquaintances with the guy who owns the VR cafes out here. So I'm probably going to try it at some point. I just haven't had the time. And plus the barcade I go to now, Retros, has they have it too, so they do now anyway. So I'm gonna get a chance to try VR. I just haven't yet, and I've been meaning to because I want to see what it's all about. Because you can explain it, but you can't explaining it's not the same as doing it. So.
Yeah, the experience isn't there, right?
Exactly, yeah. So yeah, let's just hop right into E3 then. Let's just hop right in, and let's start with our good old pals at EA.
No, skip.
Oh, what, you don't want to talk about FIFA 19, Madden 19, NBA Live 19, or Command and Conquer Rivals?
You mean the game that shall not be named?
when I first saw, and this was mentioned in the RCG podcast, but when I first saw this game, I'm like, it's a mobile game, and I'm just like, come on, guys, give mobile a chance. There's some good mobile games. There's some good mobile RTSs, and there have been. And then I saw this, and I'm like, how are RTS games on iPhone from 2012 better than the Command and Conquer mobile game?
I have a simple explanation for that. Microtransactions. That's why. I just love how the entire EA conference, they were like, no microtransactions, no loot boxes, and then as soon as they show a mobile game, well, that's the thing is, and I mentioned this a little bit in the RCG chat too, or the podcast, was that we designed these things, and we get all up in arms about microtransactions and the loot boxes in Star Wars Battlefront 2, you know, to a point where they have to fix the core of the game. They have to rip the guts out of the game to make it functional again. Right. And it's so amazing. We all banded together and we actually got the change that we wanted. Mm-hmm. However, they'll turn around and do it for a mobile game and no one cares. Because it's the same thing. It's the same business model, but because it's on a mobile platform, that it seems to get a pass because mobile games aren't real games.
Yeah, because that's the thing that I fucking hate about the hardcore gamer base, and even the RCG guys. Anytime a mobile game come up during E3, they were like, ugh. I'm like, guys, how many of you play Pokemon Go? You're playing a mobile game. Like, yes, the experience is not going to be the same as it is on console. It's never going to be that way. And if it is, we're at least 5 to 10 years away from that.
Yeah.
But mobile is
the same reason that I would get upset, why I get upset for something like Luigi's Mansion getting a remake, right? On the 3DS, where I was like, I would like my console game to be on a console. I get that frustration because there are certain games that, though they work properly in a mobile setting, I don't play my 3DS. I don't like sitting down for hours on end.
That's true.
With this little handheld in my hand.
I don't want to.
It's so surreal because I do it with my Switch all the time.
Yeah, I don't want to bring up old wounds or anything, but the 3DS compared to a phone is quite different. The 3DS was designed as a gaming device, whereas the phone is a gaming device second. You know what I mean? So
yeah,
that's completely different. So them having Luigi's Mansion on that, I get it. I still think, again, I agree with you. I still think it's stupid. They should have just put it on the fucking Switch, but I get why they thought that would be a viable platform. But Command and Conquer actually would work great on mobile, but they didn't make it an RTS. They made it a click here to win.
Yeah. Oh, well, this is, I compared it very similarly to Final Fantasy 15's A New Empire or whatever it's called.
God.
Have you seen the ads for that thing? To a point where Squaresoft was pushing it so hard that they went out and went to a bunch of Final Fantasy streamers and YouTubers and stuff and told them, hey, promote this. Where half of them are like, as much as I love Final Fantasy, and to have Square Enix to reach out to me and say, hey, promote our product and get the recognition that my channel is worth it, I can't morally support this game because it blatantly steals from the people, and they come out and you hear them talk about the game and how it's a giant scam. And I see that, and then I look at what Rivals is, and I'm like, they're like, Square Enix is making a shit ton of money off this model, so let's do that too. It's like,
okay, EA, the last time you made a Command & Conquer game, you kicked the Command & Conquer fans right in the pills. Now you're kicking them while they're down. The horse is dead. You're beating a dead horse at this point. And it's just I'm not even a fan of Command & Conquer, but I'm upset about this because I'm like, you could have done so much better. If you wanted to have the microtransactions, you could still make a good RTS and have the microtransactions. But they wanted the base denominator so they can make this game quick and get the microtransactions in there quicker.
Oh,
and it's
for
just
sure.
It's just blatant.
It's like I compared it to my rhythm games that I play a lot on my phone. I play those rhythm games all the time.
Oh yeah,
you know?
I know.
And And I have so much enjoyment playing those because, you know, you can play them for like 5 to 10 minutes, boom, you're done. Then you can wait, you know, 6-7 hours and you can play it again. And yes, you can buy things to get, you know, rare cards or better, you know, like trinkets and stuff. Like you can spend money to get those, but just playing the game eventually gets you to those things. Exactly. But it's never invasive. When you get to a point where with certain microtransactions on phones where it's like you can't do this anymore, but if you spend real currency you can upgrade it. At least in my rhythm games, though, you don't usually want to use like the premium gems because they're the ones that you can use to gamble to get like a new set of like player cards and stuff. You can use one to refresh your like a complete full set of your LP or your band points or whatever they call them, right? And I'm like, see, that's a good alternative. There's stages in which you can purchase. You can use in-game currency and then you can use money if you really, really want to.
Exactly.
But these are like clear cut. If you don't purchase things, you will lose.
And that's the thing. That's the thing that I like about Sorry. That's the thing I like about Pokemon Go. There's no incentive to spend money on stuff. I have, and it was the first time because like with Pokemon Go, I'm like, you know what? This is my first time like playing a mobile game like this. I should try to do. Fuck it, I'll just do a microtransaction. I bought an iTunes card and I bought a couple of fucking items or whatnot. And you know what? Like, I don't regret doing it because at the time I was into the game so much that I wanted to do that. But like the thing that just kind of bothers me is that when a game is like being built around, you got to spend this money or you can't play more than like 30 minutes.
Not even 30 minutes.
That's fucking blatant. Like, it's just like, why?
And to sully such a like a rich historied franchise like Command and Conquer. Now, to be fair, I was never really attached to Command and Conquer. I was more attached to the Red Alert series. Like, I mean, obviously, they're pretty much the same games. Like, it's not like there was a big difference. It's sort of the apple oranges, but they're still fruit type of deal, right? So, I mean, at least it didn't say Red Alert as well on there, just to rub it in just a little bit more to me. But like I think see it being torn down to something like this is kind of ridiculous, especially with the fact that StarCraft 2 and like other MOBAs and everything are huge in the esports scene. EA has a RTS juggernaut name in the industry, and they're not going the esports route, even though they love their fucking soccer and their football games and everything.
Like I don't understand it. I'm not a big RTS guy, but like StarCraft is huge and like esports. Maybe not so much now because the StarCraft 2 hype has died down, but it's huge. It was the esport for a long time. So you have a franchise that has a rich history, exactly like you said, that you could be making a full new game. Even if you want to make a mobile game, just make it a full RTS instead of doing this tap to win bullshit. Because that's not a game. That's a tapping simulator. This is the Command and Conquer equivalent of tap the button.
Yeah.
Remember tap the button?
That's what it's like our air phone, like or the air horn on my phone. You know, like I can just come over here and I can load up this wonderful app that I have on my phone. Where is it? There it is. And then I can just do this. Look, I win the Command and Conquer game.
Exactly.
You know, like
it's just I feel so bad for the Command and Conquer fans, like Blondie, for example, who sat there and like had to watch it be like, well, you kicked me while I was down. Kind of thing. And it's funny because it's funny, like we'll get to it, but there's a mobile game that Bethesda announced that is almost a full fucking game, which is hilarious compared to this. It's almost like they saw what EA showed off. They're like, oh, thank God they showed their shitty mobile game first. Makes ours look really fucking good, but we'll get to that. Can we just move, since we're talking about fucking EA and their bullshit, can we move over to let's move over to Star Wars Battlefront 2 for a second.
Yeah.
Can I just say, last E3, when they were like, all the DLC's free, guys, all the stuff is free, and all the other RCG guys were like, yes. And I'm like, guys, it's EA, they're gonna fuck it up. They're like, no, it's fine. They're not gonna fuck it up. What? Who was fucking right, motherfuckers? This guy. They fucked it up.
Well,
and
so okay,
now they're
it's
backpedaling.
it's the Clone Wars, right?
The Clone Wars is coming, which I'm very happy about. I've wanted more prequel content. And, okay, people don't like the prequels, but people fucking love the Clone Wars. I fucking love the Clone Wars. And I'm glad that we're getting more content. I'm still not buying it. I'm still not buying Battlefront 2. I will pick up Battlefront 2 when there's a Game of the Year edition, half off.
That's hey man, I look at the character list and they're like, oh, you can play as iconic characters from the Clone Wars. General Grievous, Count Dooku, Obi-Wan Kenobi, and Anakin Skywalker.
The reason I'm not buying Battlefront
where is Ahsoka? Please, if you're going to start talking about fucking Clone Wars, there are so many better characters in the Clone Wars animated series that you could bring over.
Is Ahsoka not in the fucking DLC?
No, she's not. And she's
I'm not buying Battlefront 2 then. Like...
She isn't. She isn't in it.
She isn't in it. I'm not buying it then. Like,
yeah, I know. I would never buy. If she was in it, I would actually be like, okay, all right. But no.
EA, like, are you trying to cater to the people who only watch the movies?
Yeah, of course they are. Because no one watches the really, really good TV shows.
Okay. I can understand not doing expanded universe. That's fine. But, like, you've got... there's the very... Like, the Clone Wars and the Rebels shows are, from what I can understand, pretty popular. And Ahsoka shows up in both of those. And she's a really popular character. I like Ahsoka, and I haven't even seen that much of it. How do you not have this character in here? And it's not like... And the thing I heard is that, like, you know, Disney doesn't like the Clone Wars or the Rebels show. I'm like, bullshit. It makes them money. Like, why would they allow those characters to share?
They have to share quite a lot of the money with like other production companies because it's not made in house by Disney Interactive.
I know, but still, it's just like it was making the money before they owned the Star Wars license. Like, look at fucking Disney Infinity. Like, when that was super big, they had Star Wars.
Yeah,
they didn't even own the fucking license; they just had it, and they were making bank on that shit. Now they own it, and now they're like. Just acting that out.
And guess who was in Disney Infinite in the Star Wars? Ahsoka was in that. Uh-huh. You could actually get an Ahsoka Infinity character.
Yep. I actually have it.
Yeah. It's just like
I wanted
come on,
figurines.
Guys. And then also there is also an unknown known Star Wars game, the Jedi Fallen Order, that they sort of just like hinted at, that takes place between episode 3 and 4. So it's by the creators of Titanfall. So that can't be too bad.
I heard Titanfall 2 was really good. So,
yeah. Oh, it was.
I mean, I haven't played it. I'm going to be honest, I don't really have that much of an inkling to play it. But like, if I saw the game for, $10 and a couple of you guys wanted to play, I'd be down to play a little bit of it. And I mean, they've been a proven developer. So
they showed off Anthem, which I'm still okay with.
What the fuck is Anthem? Is it just EA's Destiny?
Yes and no, because it's made by the people made by from BioWare, right? And it's their premier flagship. So at first, a lot of people thought it was like a different type of Mass Effect game, right? But if anything, I compare it more to Halo than I would actual Destiny. Yeah, just the way that it is. And like, I guess the cool part is that if you have Origin access, you have the Premier, their new pretty much premium Prime service. You get to play Anthem like day one for free or whatever.
Oh yeah, their fucking streaming service thing.
Yeah, their streaming service. So you get to play Anthem on that, so you don't have to pay for
a second.
Yeah,
it's like EA. Look, you got Origin because you didn't want to put your games on Steam. I get it. But we already have PlayStation Now and whatever Xbox thing is called. I can't remember it. What makes you think you're going to be able to compete in this market? And we have Steam. Well, Steam doesn't have streaming, but you know what I mean. Like, you can start playing your game while you're downloading, kind of thing. What makes you fucking think, with our third world internet here in North America, that people are going to want this? Like, just you have two other platforms you could be making money off of, but instead you're making your own.
Oh, and yeah. I don't. You have to remember the PC market is still very Wild Westy. Like, it's not. You don't need to have Steam to play a lot of games, right?
And yeah, that's true. But I mean, the thing that I want to bring up too is I don't have Origin. I'll never have Origin because the fact that the fucking software is malware.
Yeah,
and bullshit like that. Like it's literally malware. That's what it is. Like it's like, and I don't mean like Norton Antivirus is a virus that kills viruses. Everybody knew that. But like this is fucking malware that you have to sign an EULA for, an ND or whatever, a terms of service thing when you get in, saying that they're allowed to farm your computer for data. And now they want give people the ability to stream with their new fucking service. So you pay us, then we'll take your data. And on top of that, you're going to have to pay for a third subscription service if you're already paying for PlayStation Now and whatever Xbox thing is. Yeah. Rather than just putting it on one of those two things. And I think the reason they're doing this is because they want the control over it. That's why they made Origin. That's why a lot of their games aren't on Steam, because they want to control it.
Well, it's just like a game store. Like, they push used games because they make a crap ton more money on it, right?
And I'll admit,
because it's owned by them.
I'll admit, there's been free games that have given away of Origin. If you just sign into Origin, I'm just like, I'm not risking my information just to get this app, to get free games. Like, if you want to put them on Steam, I'll get them there. But I'm not going to install this just to get some free games that are like 2 years old. I'll just go buy a physical copy for $5. So it's just, I just think the streaming service idea is a bad idea. Like, people already don't like EA. Like, let's make us like EA even worse. And it's just, the thing that always bugs me is because they're called electronic artists. That's what their whole gimmick was. They were an early third-party developer who tried to make their, games look like fucking album releases. And here we are today. It's anything but artists work there.
Well, but you have to understand that, like, the reason why they've lasted so long is because they themselves don't really make the games. They license or they buy companies, and then they make them make it. So they're pretty much just producers at this point, and that's fine. But at the same time, they run it like a business, not like a developer would, right?
And it's like, they run it like a business. Until all their consumers start,
But see, that's the thing is, if them doing this is not like, I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but people are going to use this shit, man.
They are,
and that's the thing. That's the kicker. The kicker is they wouldn't do it if they knew that they couldn't sucker people into using it. Now, for us, it's a little bit less cut and dry because we've seen what they've done to, a bunch of the franchises that we love, like Command & Conquer aside, what they did to Mass Effect and what they did to BioWare and everything to save money on these types of things has really soured me on a lot of things, and yeah, okay, they cut back on their microtransactions because they were caught with their hands in the cookie jar, but they just shifted the focus, and no one's kicking up a stink to the fact that they're making a mobile game that is exactly the same model.
Exactly. I feel like we're the only people.
I'm sure there's others. It's just like
I'm not seeing. But the thing is, like, I'm not seeing any articles about it. I'm not seeing anybody talking about it. I would figure there's like a Command & Conquer fan base out there, obviously, because these games lasted for so long. I'd figure there'd be a little bit more going on here, but.
Oh man, no. Command & Conquer 4 really it like destroyed the reputation of Command & Conquer. Like, really, really bad. I watched a retrospective on it not too long ago. There's a really good one. I should link it to you if you're interested.
Oh yeah, I'd love to. I saw Blondie's Command & Conquer Renegade review, and I've been interested in looking more into the series. Let me preface this by, like, I don't play RTSs, so I probably won't play the games, but I like the lore and I like the history of those games. So I would love to watch. Yeah, I'd love to watch a retrospective one.
Yeah, and so moving on, because we could yell at each other for hours about this. Is like, I think the last thing that they showed off was Sea of Solitude.
Oh yeah.
See, like, that's such the saddest thing about EA is like there was like little sprinkles of things throughout their conference that are just like, oh, like Unravel 2 was in there as well, you know?
Oh, like, yeah, they shadow drop that.
Yeah, like, and you're just like, okay, more of this. Like, where the indie games are the ones that you're just like, oh, okay. These are the people that still have most of their freedom to do what they want because EA is just like, I don't know, fuck it, sure, we'll publish it.
You're a cheap studio, so just do whatever you want because you don't take that much money anyways.
Yeah, exactly. We'll just take 80% of the profit and you can have 20%.
I think Sea of Solitude is probably EA's
it's probably it's going to be probably the most interesting thing, yeah.
Because isn't that the one that like was like kind of Shadow of the Colossus-y or something like that? What am I thinking of?
Yes. It's if I were to compare it to anything, have you played Rim?
No.
Okay, it's very similar to Rim for the people out there that know what I'm speaking of, which is it's got like a very, I guess in the same sense, it does have the same sort of desolate world with like fantastical creatures and everything. So yeah, it's got a bit of a Shadow of Colossus, but the way that it shows how to play and everything, it reminds me more of Rim than Shadow in particular, because this is more of like an interactive world story where it's not like you going and killing a giant monster.
No, but you know what I mean. Like,
yeah, big dystopian place that you have to look through. It has
big monsters, but that's not the focus like it is in
but
you know what I mean.
They're obstacles, not actual things you fight.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and the thing is, like, that was the best thing they showed. Like that game.
It looks fucking awesome.
It looks really cool, actually.
Yeah.
I kind of want to play it. Like if they release like a beta or something, I'm in. I want to try that.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, that's basically EA. Like Unravel 2 came out, and I'm happy about that. But there's not really much to say except it's got the weird like Knuckles Chaotix thing going on, where both characters are tied together by a thread. So I imagine, as soon as I saw it, I imagined that I would get this at some point, and I would make someone like Corey or Brad play this with me. And this, like, because Corey would be like, I want this secret over there, and I'd be like, no, come over here. Like, things like that. Like, it would just be chaos, and I think I would love it. And the first Unravel looked fun, but it wasn't really on my radar that much. But this one looks really good, and it's out now, so I may pick this up pretty soon.
Yeah.
But that's basically Unravel and 2 and Sea of Solitude were the big things they showed, which I thought were good. So, you have anything else to say about EA, or should we move on?
No, let's move on to arguably probably the best conference of the E3 week, I guess.
I'd have to agree. They did a really good job. I don't know if they.
You know what's really funny is in our E3 predictions, I stated, I'm like, Microsoft has to do something to make it stand out because, man, they don't have a lot of things to show. Well, I was fucking wrong, apparently.
Well, they did exactly what you wanted. They stood out.
They stood out. I'm like, oh man, I guess that's why I'm pretty excited. I mean, there's a couple more games on the PlayStation side that I'm more excited for, but there's a lot of like first looks of those things in the Microsoft.
Yeah, Microsoft has always been before PlayStation, and they have never used the advantage that they get to go first. Really, this is like one of the few times they're using that advantage. Because like, remember when the Xbox One was announced and they had all that stupid stuff like you couldn't play used games and stuff on it, and then Sony did their thing and just like destroyed them right after? Like, Microsoft is still recovering from that.
Mm-hmm.
They're still trying to. So what they did this year, they came out strong and was like, you know what? We're going to show this shit first.
Yeah.
We're going to be first to show this. Even if these games are on other platforms, we showing it first so that people know they exist. And it kind of killed Square Enix's thunder, actually.
Yeah. That I'm really sad for Square Enix because, like, man, a lot of their things just got shown off here, so it just felt like when you're watching their press conference, you're like, oh, I already saw all this.
Basically, yeah. can I just say that the Awesome Adventures of Captain Spirit looks fucking awesome, and I want to play
and it's completely free.
I know. I want to.
Yeah.
I want to do a power plays with you or somebody with this fucking game.
I would love to do it with you because I actually wanted to do Life is Strange with you at some point.
Oh yeah, I have all of Life is Strange because I got it when I got it when it was free, and then I got the episodes for cheap, so I have it all.
Nice.
So I have it on PS4 if we want to ever play that. But like the Awesome Adventures of Captain Spirit looks like a fun ass game.
Yeah,
and I
just
really wanna...
just the idea, like the concept of like bringing an 8 to 10-year-old's like imagination to life seems like it could be really, really interesting to play around with, and like an amazing storytelling tool, I think.
Yeah, I think at another conference they showed gameplay of it a little bit.
Yeah.
But this was just like a trailer to reveal it, and honestly, I also gotta say, for the first few of the conferences I watched, I was watching the Easy Allies one, like the Easy Allies stream.
Yeah.
So it was a bit of a clusterfuck because there was us in the RCG chat talking about it, and then there was people, Easy Allies guys, and seeing their reactions were great. Because they're like, holy crap, this actually looks really good. they were kind of excited. They're like, some of them are just like, oh, okay. But it was interesting to see because I didn't think, like, at first when I saw this, I'm just like, okay, this is some Life is Strange stuff, but I'm like, I didn't think I would be as into it, but like, I'm really into it. I really want to see this story. And the fact that it's going to be free is even better. So I have a lot of shit to play, apparently. I got to play Life is Strange now, too. So
well, it doesn't sound like they're not connected in any way. It's other than maybe knowing a little bit about the universe, where they have sort of magical powers. It seems to be the only like thing that you need to carry over. So
yeah.
But yeah, no, it seems a fun little quirky free game. You know, probably only play for about 2 to 3 hours, nothing too major. But yeah, man, if it's free, fuck yeah, and it gets you ready for the fact that Life is Strange 2 is going to be coming out. At least the first episode, I believe, is coming out in September of this year.
Yeah, it's coming out. Wait, it's coming out in September?
Yeah, the first episode of Life is Strange 2 is coming out in September. Episode 1.
Oh, well, fuck. I'm going to have to play this. Like, I'm going to have to download that.
Well. Now we move on to the second thing that they showed off. Something that no one other than the people at GameStop have been asked about for so long.
When they started that teaser, I was like, is it really? Is it happening? Like, I'm like, in the back of my head, I'm like, no, it can't be. Like, it can't be. They'll never make another one of this. And then I'm like, it said the 3 of you, and the 3 was all green. I'm like, yes, they're making a new Battletoads.
And I think the most interesting thing is it's going to be hand drawn.
Yeah.
Which is like they're taking a kick out of the Cuphead side of things, and man, like if we're thinking like early to late 90s like art style, this game is gonna look fucking amazing.
I cannot wait. I just beat the arcade one on my Let's Play channel with Corey, and it was really fun. Like, I'd never played the arcade one. The only thing that I'm a little concerned with is that I'll never beat it, because I haven't beaten Battletoads 1, and I never beat Battletoads and Battlemaniacs. I love both those games, but I've never completed them. So,
and I know it's one of those things where it seems silly to have to mention this, but there have been so many of these types of games that have come out recently that haven't had fucking couch co-op on them.
Yeah.
So the fact that this game will have 3-player couch co-op, thank God.
Yeah.
It isn't like Microsoft BS where they're like, you must be signed into Xbox Live to play. You know, like, that's good. high five to you,
that's
Rare.
because I mean that's how Battletoads needs to be played. That's how most beat 'em ups should be played. It should be played catch gun. No, nothing against like because you and I played a couple of beat 'em ups online, way back, and that's fine too. But I don't know. There's something about playing it with your friends on the same couch that just can't be replicated. So I'm glad that that's happening. So we finally got Battletoads. Now, like the only thing we're missing, Microsoft, is a new Conquer game. Give me a new Conquer game, and
we mean real Conquer. We're not talking about whatever that fucking weird thing was.
No, not that. Like a full Conquer game. Like Microsoft. If you bring us a full Conquer game, if you just announce it, a full Conquer game, I will go out and I will buy an Xbox One X.
Nah.
Like you guys have enough games now that I'm seriously considering it. Even though my brother just bought an Xbox One, I will buy my own Xbox if you announce you're making a new Conquer game. I'm putting that on the table.
Yeah.
You want to win somebody over,
Microsoft?
You want to win somebody over?
That's a free $700 right there.
You want to win somebody over right now who fucking hates your console because the stupid interface, where it doesn't even tell you when you put a disc in, telling you that the disc is, having a read error instead of it going to the store and says, hey, do you want to buy this game that you're trying to play off the disc? No, I want to play it off the fucking disc. Or on top of that, what I had to do recently, where your operating system, no matter how many times, the 4,000 ways I've asked Windows Update to stop giving me updates and disable it, it just keeps installing updates whenever it wants. So you know what I did? I went into MS-DOS and I deleted the Windows Updates files. You can't install updates on my computer anymore because I was that pissed off. And you know what the only thing it affects is? I can't download things off the Microsoft Store. Hallelujah to them. They can't make more money off of me. Well, you know what? I'll forget all that ever happened.
I'll reinstall Windows Updates.
I'll put Windows Updates back on my computer and I'll install every update the moment they come out. Conquer on the Xbox One.
Yeah.
A new Conquer game.
Can we throw Perfect Dark in there too?
Perfect Dark 3.
Perfect Dark 3.
Or 2. I don't know.
Let's go with 2 because I don't know if 0 really counted as a sequel.
It's like a prequel or something, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a prequel, but it's not really it.
Okay, it's Conquer, and then... And if you're not going to do Conquer, maybe if you do Perfect Dark 2, Xbox One X, I'll buy one.
Yeah.
I'm putting that on the table because right now my next console is going to be the Switch.
So what you're saying is you've been pretty salty.
What I'm saying is that...
No, I'm trying to segue here. Shut up. You're being pretty salty about Microsoft. So, what they have decided is that the next character that comes out for Cuphead is a salt shaker.
Is she a salt shaker? I thought she was a teacup.
She's a teacup, but it's something about her being like a salt shaker. Also.
Oh, she's a chalice.
Yeah, full of salt, apparently.
Oh, okay. Is that what it is? Okay.
Yeah.
No, wait. There's Chef Salt Baker. There's like a salt dude.
Okay, there is a salt dude.
He's
There's
literally a salt
boss.
shaker.
Okay,
well,
yeah, he's
either
a
way,
boss.
Either
right.
way, your failed segue. Anyways, the Cuphead DLC looks awesome, and I can't wait to play it because Cuphead's my game of 2017. So, like, I can't wait to play more of it. Even though Cuphead's fucking hard, I got to keep playing Cuphead. If you, it hasn't come out yet, but the playthrough Brad and I are doing, oh my god. Watching my own footage back is kind of painful. You know when you like watch your footage back, you're like, oh, there's that thing that I missed for half an hour.
Yeah.
It's like that, but it's 10 times worse because it's like,
imagine sitting beside you and telling you it's right there, and you're just like, no, it's not. It's not right there.
Playing it and watching the footage back are two different things. But let me put it this way.
But I know you're playing there, and you're asking me where it is. And I'm like, it's right fucking there, and you're like, no, it's not. And then you pass it 5 or 6 times, and you're just like, why aren't you listening to me? And I'm sitting next to you. Imagine people sitting at home.
And see the funny thing is like half the time is because you're not fucking explaining it well enough.
No,
you're like, oh, it's over
because
there.
I say left, then you whip around 180 degrees and you pass it, and you're like, oh, it's not to the left. But regardless of that,
well, for real, it's not. You said it was left. It wasn't
I
to
did.
the left.
And you just kept moving left until you went back to exactly
Let's
the
not
same spot you
recreate
were
the
in.
latest episodes of Skyward Sword, okay? Let's leave that to the videos when they come out. Cuphead
Right.
DLC, can't wait to get it. I fucking love Cuphead. Just give me more. Give me more Cuphead.
Yeah.
Also, I think it's time
Talk about Terry Crews, the video game.
Power!
This is Terry Crews, the video game.
I've never been a big Crackdown guy, but I fucking want to play Crackdown 3.
Oh man, Crackdown was so fun. Crackdown was so fun.
Not just because Terry Crews is in it, but the gameplay looks solid as fuck.
Yeah.
Let me just say that. Like, it looks fucking solid. I want to play it. And I'm like, Zero wants to play a shooter. And it's not Overwatch. Surprise, surprise, right in your eyes. I don't know if I shouldn't have said that. But, I mean, what can we say about... It's hard to talk about Crackdown 3 without just watching the trailer. Because it's just like so like... And just like the entire time.
It's like watching 5 minutes of Old Spice commercials. It's just Terry Crews just yelling about everything.
But
which
like,
is fine.
You get to yell
fine.
with him.
Yes. In the game. You can be him as he's yelling and doing all this shit.
You Terry Crews in the game. You Terry Crews in real life.
Yeah. And we actually got a release date that it's going to be coming out in February, which is
that's really cool.
Pretty good.
This comes out on PC and okay, well maybe I'll pick this up for Xbox. Oh, but fuck, I'll have to get Xbox Live to play online.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, whatever. I'll buy
Actually, you can just get the PC version and then you can just play online.
I could get, well, my PC's not as good as yours, but
no, that's true.
I gotta get a new graphics card. Anyways, excuse me. Cyberpunk 2077 is a game that's been very like a lot of people are very excited about.
Yeah, but it was announced like 4 years ago?
Yeah. It looks really fun. I heard a lot of people were saying it wasn't the cyberpunk styling they were hoping for, but I'm like, man, just fucking slap some 80s style future on it and cyberpunk enough for me. That's the way I feel about it. I'm sure the game is still a bit off, a bit of a ways off, but like, man, it looks good. Like it looks like something. I mean, cyberpunky. Like to start off, I guess it better be. And it kind of gives me a. I know it's not that kind of game, but it gives me a bit of a Snatcher vibe.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's made by the guys that made The Witcher, eh? So like, it's going to be very open world. A part of me kind of feels like it may feel a little bit like Infamous, a little bit.
I mean, it probably will, but I mean, at the same time, Infamous is not Cyberpunk and Infamous like still have a little bit away from each other. So yeah, it's gonna feel like it a little bit. But I think like what I'm more excited about is it's basically it feels like it's going to be if GTA was set in an 80s anime OVA series is what it feels like it's gonna be. Because like you ever see any of those things like City Hunter or anything like that, like those like 80s style futuristic stuff where it's like it's the year is 2027 or something like that.
Yeah.
And
part of me kind of wishes that it was sort of like Kung Fury in a sense where it's just like so hammy and just. But it looks like they're going to be trying to take this very seriously.
I mean, it's one of those things where like you can go either way with Cyberpunk games. You can go hammy as fuck or you can go serious, and I think it's totally fine for them to go serious. I also agree with you though. I want something hammy, but like there's games for that. So I'm not as concerned for that. I think like the fact that they're trying to make a serious effort to make a Cyberpunk style game, which Cyberpunk's in the fucking name, so of course it's got to be, is really cool, especially today, because this stuff was way more popular in like the late 90s, early 2000s PC gaming spectrum that it is now. Cyberpunk is mostly popular now with tabletop stuff, so it's kind of cool that we're getting a full game that's kind of going into that realm. So yeah, I'm excited for it. I haven't played The Witcher 3, but I've heard it's really fucking good. So I have high hopes for this. Hopefully this does not disappoint.
Mm-hmm. Now, My favorite game ever that Microsoft, like, this is why Microsoft wins, okay? This is why it wins.
Just this one game?
It's just one game, okay? Fucking DMC5, man. And when I first watched that trailer, and I'm like, oh gosh. I'm like, this is Devil May Cry, and then the van went, and I saw Nero's new haircut. And I didn't know it was Nero at the time. I saw the haircut, and I was like, oh my god.
Excuse me, it's not Ro.
Not fucking Dante again. Not Dante.
It's not Ro.
Then he fucking jumps out, revs his fucking sword, and then the clouds part, and then Johnny Young Bosch's voice comes out of that sweet, sweet man's mouth. And then you start seeing gameplay, you see people getting torn apart and impaled, and it's just glorious because it's got the one-liners, it's got the soapiest opera type of song metal in the background. And then it's just, then they show fucking Joey Dante. So good. Have you seen that image?
Yeah, I've seen that image.
Yeah, where it's like Joey Wheeler from...
What the fuck happened to you, Dante?
You fucking murder hobo! I can be a fucking murder hobo because it looks like Nero took over Devil May Cry, or at least is another branch of the Devil May Cry series.
I also love how the game is following the art style that DMC set out, but it's not anything like it at all.
Well, it's because it's using the RE2 engine.
Yeah.
Or RE7, sorry. Not RE2. RE2, which we'll talk about later, is also using the RE7 engine. But it was good to see when they were showing gameplay off that it reminded me a lot of 4, so it's going to be fucking crazy and fast, just the way we want it. Mm-hmm. Also, I'm totally cool with surfboarding on my robot arm. DMC's back, cool. Baby! Let's do this. I want my ham... I want my ham put between 2 pieces of bread and covered in fucking pizza. That's what I want. And that's what I'm getting.
CJ?
Yes?
Question. You're not fucking excited for this game, are you?
No, I'm not. I'm not excited at all. They haven't given a release date, and it kind of makes me sad, but I don't care because it's coming. It's here, and it's not Dante.
Every time I think you're gonna stop, you just keep going. I mean, I didn't get this excited.
Shut up! DMC5 is coming out.
I didn't get this excited for Mega Man 11, but like, I still, I mean, like, I understand. Like, I haven't played much Devil May Cry, but I know people fucking love it. So
yeah, and
like,
don't get me wrong. I don't hate DMC as much as other people do.
I thought it was actually kind of fun.
The gameplay is so good. Like, if Ninja Theory could have screwed anything up, it would have been the gameplay, and they didn't. They nailed the gameplay. I liked some of the story, but in other parts it was really, really dumb. And it was really, 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 as I like to use the word, fisted. Just so fisted into us all the time on how look how cool we are and how shitty the old thing is.
Yeah, not in a million years when the fucking mop falls on his fucking head.
Yeah. It's just like, and that's in the first hour of gameplay. They're just like, guess what?
I know. It's in the first fucking level. Like,
and then just to add insult to injury, they added a DLC character of him with the mop hair, so he looked like Dante.
That's funny.
But yes, it's coming out.
I'm ready for the adventures of Notro.
Hey man, I want to be fucking demon murder hobo.
Demon murder hobo?
Yeah, that's Dante's demon murder hobo. It's gonna be great. Everything I ever wanted.
So, do we have anything to say about the Division 2? Because honestly, I don't really.
I mean, the cool thing was the fact that they straight up said that all the DLC is not going to, it's going to be free, apparently.
I do want to say that this E3 kind of felt like 3 things. It felt like there was a lot of pirate games, there was a lot of post-apocalyptic games, and what was the last one? I had it in my head. No, I can't think of it. But yeah, like this is a different take on post-apocalyptic. It's just like post-apocalyptic America.
Yeah, but it's like very early post-apocalyptic too. It's like the government really has just fallen, so there's still a lot of chaos and stuff.
Yeah. So, I mean, if you like Tom Clancy, I don't know, fucking whatever. If you like Tom Clancy, you'll probably like this. But I don't. It's I never
played I never played the first one. The first one I heard had a lot of problems, so hopefully Ubisoft fixes a lot of that.
I mean, I should hope so.
See, the thing is though it's interesting and political, just having like another American Civil War, you know, in Washington and stuff. But how safe are they going to play this? Like, it's the same thing with Far Cry. There's some controversial stuff in Far Cry 5, but they really played it safe too, right? It was like everybody's complaining that it was too on the nose, or it wasn't on the nose enough,
or it wasn't political enough. Like
like that type of stuff. So
people say
I have
that.
a feeling that this may fall into that category too. Ubisoft likes to play things safe. But yeah, no, it's about, like, they pretty much spread smallpox throughout the United States, and it causes, like, all types of chaos. And I guess spreading viruses just moves into Dying Light 2. I didn't play the first one. I'm not really interested.
I love how the description on this site says, yet another post-apocalyptic game.
Yeah, yet another.
Yeah, so Dying Light looked fun. Dying Light 2 looks like it adds new mechanics, which I think is really neat. I didn't play Dying Light, though I think I have a free copy on something, so, I mean, I always could. Dying Light 2 looks like it's just a natural progressive sequel, like they've added a lot of stuff to it that you can do during the day. I think that's good. I like, if it was like, for example, Dead Island, where they just kept making more of them and didn't really add much to them, then, you know, then I would not be as forgiving with it. But I think if you liked the first Dying Light, you're probably gonna like Dying Light 2, and there's probably gonna be more for you to do, which is cool.
Yeah.
So
but yeah, unfortunately, I don't. There's nothing really for me to say about it. I never played the first one.
Yeah, I mean, I never did, but like if I had been somebody who did, I could see like being excited for this, because like this is what I like. Even if it's a game I didn't play, if they make a new one and they start adding stuff to it, it gets me more enticed to want to play it. Maybe I won't play Dying Light 2, but maybe if they make a Dying Light 3 and they expand on that, then I might play that one. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I feel bad for saying this, that, this is cool, but I'm not going to play it, but I just want to be honest about it.
Mm-hmm. There's so much other things, like Devil May Cry 5.
My God.
That just,
you're saying that the whole podcast. I think we should just kind of skip over Fallout 76 till we get to Bethesda, because they really showed most of the stuff there.
Yeah, and I have some not so nice opinions about that.
Yeah, Forza Horizon 4, it's a fucking racing game. Who cares?
Yeah, okay. Some people do.
Okay, can we talk about the 3 Gears announcements?
Yeah,
and the fact that the first one they decided to show was Gears of War Pop. Way to fucking almost scare like the Gears of War fans. I remember when we were watching that, Kevin was like, "Oh no, Oni, what did you do?" and then of course it was all like gone after he saw, okay, Gears of War 5.
Yeah.
So, and then there's like a tactics game that I thought was a mobile game, but I guess it's for PC.
Yeah, that actually seems pretty cool, actually.
Is it Gears XCOM, basically?
It may be like that, or it may sort of be like Halo Wars. Whereas you can say, oh, well, Halo Wars is an RTS, but it's not as much of an RTS as it is more of a tactics sort of thing. But hell, if Gears Tactics is exactly like XCOM, holy shit, yes. Like, holy crap, yes. Make it as brutally hard as XCOM is, too. because I love XCOM, which, by the way, if you haven't already, add that to your gaming library if you have PlayStation Plus. XCOM 2 is free for PlayStation Plus users right now.
Right. That's right.
Add that shit. It is a really solid, hard tactics game. Like one that I wish we got more from Final Fantasy Tactics like that.
Mm-hmm.
But regardless of that, Gears of War 5 will follow Kate. She was in Gears of War 4. She was sort of the love interest to Marcus Phoenix's son. Mm-hmm. So this, like, looking at the screenshots from it, it's so weird because I always thought that Gears had a very arcadey sort of macho man like art style, but they are making it look so realistic and so good now that like I don't imagine these characters as like super roided up subwoofers anymore.
It's not beefcakes anymore, basically.
Yeah, like they actually have proper proportions to a certain extent. And like just looking at some of the stills and like that small little trailer they showed, holy damn.
Mm-hmm.
Like Epic Games has always been like relatively good with their cutscenes and their characters' emotion.
This is why I'm glad you're here, because I don't know much about Gears. I played a little bit of the first one because it came with my Xbox 360, but I don't know a ton about it.
Oh man,
so, like somebody who's been following the series for a while and knows a bit of the lore, this probably makes more sense. But the trailer didn't really mean much to me.
Oh man, yeah, no, it's like like I have an Xbox One and I have 2 games for it. Actually, I say 2, but it's really 3. So I have Killer Instinct.
Mm-hmm.
I have Gears of War 4 and the Gears of War collection.
Mm-hmm.
Those are the games that I have for the Xbox One. That's it. Those are the only things I have on my Xbox One.
I have 1 game for the Xbox One. Mighty Number 9.
Yay!
But though technically Brock has all the games that I would play on it anyway, so stuff.
So, like,
I am going to get Super Lucky's Tale because I want to try that. But speaking of Xbox staples, one of the first things they showed was the teaser for Halo Infinite. The only thing that I really wanted to say about it is it looks like it takes place on Earth or a planet just like Earth.
No, it takes place on a Halo. Finally, we're back on the Halos. We haven't been on a Halo in a really long time.
Oh, really? Okay.
So, like, Halo 1, you were on a Halo. Halo 2, you were on a Halo. Then you went to Earth. And then you were lost in space and were on a planet. And then you saw that there were more fucking Halos in the universe. And you kept looking at Halos. And then you got chased down to planets that could control Halos. But you were never on a Halo. Now we're finally back on a Halo. So it makes sense again. Now, I don't know why it's called Infinite. That seems like, I mean, they call it Master Chief's greatest adventure. But, like, I actually hope, because this is technically 6, that this is Master Chief's final outing. I really hope that it is, because as much as I love a stoic Master Chief and batshit crazy Cortana, I think it's time that the franchise move away from them. I think this should be his final going out party. Because if we're to believe the lore is that Master Chief has been infused with Forerunner DNA, the Forerunners are the people that built all the Halos and stuff. And they were massive. We're talking like gigantic people. Like we're talking like God amongst men. Like he's almost like Hercules, if anything now. But he's been infused with this DNA to the point where he's outgrown his old armor. So he needs to have new armor put on because he's big. Because he needs to save the universe now. And remember, the Halos were put in place to stop the flood, but we've already stopped the flood, so I don't know what these Halos are supposed to do anymore.
Yeah.
I
wonder.
I love Nathan Fillion to death, but I really hope that he's not in this one. They really milked the Nathan Fillion since ODST.
Do you think they're gonna pull like an MGS5 and recast him, or?
Oh, no, I'm just talking about the fact that he has become sort of the pseudo main character because he's a human that then became a Spartan.
Okay.
But, like, apparently, like, it's very weird against the continuity of the the lore and everything, because to become a Spartan you need to go through like genetic therapy. You'll need to be broken down, very similar to like creating super soldiers and other things, where it's like we need to break the man that you are to create you into this new thing, right? That's why Master Chief is like the scariest thing on the planet, because he can just like go in single-handedly and just kill an entire armada of aliens.
Mm-hmm.
So how Nathan got put into the Spartan program while he was just a regular ODST soldier in Halo 3 or even Halo 2, because technically ODST takes place during the events in Halo 2. And it's like, wait, I thought you had to be like trained as a child and like bred to be a Spartan, not just anybody gets to wear Spartan armor. But I mean, maybe they're taking red versus blue into continuity now, where it's just like a bunch of random people in power armor. You know, I don't know. It's interesting to speculate, because there's absolutely nothing about this game other than, hey, look, Master Chief's helmet, it's off. Can we see his face? No, he's gonna put it on. You know, like that's the crux of it all, I guess.
I don't have much to say about Halo. I stopped playing at 3 and I never completed the single player for any of them.
Yeah.
I bought Halo 3 for the multiplayer.
Man, Reach was my favorite, but it has the worst interlacing issues that I've ever seen in a video game. I don't know what, and this was Bungie's last time making it. I don't know if they were trying to go for some sort of cinematic motion blur shit, but man, that game is interlaced to all fucking hell.
Yeah. Needs a remaster, does it? Or
I don't think a remaster would fix it.
Yeah, I see what
it's
you
like
mean.
It's like built into like how the camera and everything is shot. It's just bad.
Yeah. So
but
anyways,
moving on.
I don't want to spend too much time talking about this, but they showed a new jump game, Jump Force.
Yeah.
Which they showed, which is weird because it looks like it might take place in like a real life-ish style setting.
Yeah, it's like these characters have been brought to the real world or something.
Yeah. So they showed off Naruto, Luffy, and Goku, I think, doing a battle or something against Frieza.
Yeah.
And then at the very end, they teased fucking Kira and
L. Yeah.
Ryuk.
Oh, Ryuk. Oh, right.
Yeah,
Ryuk.
Kira
L
and
was in
Ryuk.
there.
And they haven't shown much more after that, but like they showed a little bit of gameplay with Frieza, Goku, and Naruto.
And Sasuke, wasn't Sasuke shown off as well?
Yeah, they showed Sasuke and Zoro. The Sasuke and Zoro fight, which I thought was really cool.
Yeah. Okay, do the graphics bother you? Because they bother me a little bit.
A little bit, but I mean, like, with these crossover games, not like a ton. Like, okay. I honestly with J-Star's Victory Versus, the graphics for some things didn't look good either, but like, I just think they're trying to make it. This might be reeling into the whole like them having a fight in an American city. Maybe they're trying to bring it into the real world, and that's why they're trying to make it look, I don't know, realistic but not realistic.
It's like pseudo realistic. It's so weird. Like, it's like I never thought Goku's eyebrows needed texture.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like that type of stuff. Like his clothes, I can understand, and maybe to a small degree his hair, but like seeing his eyebrows, you know, and even Naruto looks very plasticky. They don't look like they match the setting that they're in.
Yeah. I mean, we haven't seen much either. Like, this could be pre-alpha footage. Who fucking knows?
Yeah.
But my main thing that I want to know is which JoJo's making it in. Because
Part 5 was just announced.
I mean, what?
Part 5 was just announced, so.
Yeah, well, we'll get into that. Because J-Stars had Jonathan and Joseph. So I think most people are thinking it's going to be Jotaro and Dio are going to be in the game, which would make the most sense.
Yeah, that would make the most sense.
I mean, even if they're going to pick Dio, they need to pick the one from part 3 that can stop time. So I feel like that would be a fun mechanic to play with. So I mean, they didn't show much, so I'm assuming this game's far off from being released. So we'll have to just keep an eye and see what happens. It hasn't been announced for Switch either, so who knows? Like, there could be a Nintendo Direct talking about it in the future, but we'll find out. Just Cause 4. I don't have much to say about it.
Yeah, I was about to say another one.
But I've seen gameplay of Just Cause 3 and it looks really fun. So this might be a game I'll have to get into. Just Cause 4. There's so many games I mean to play, but like I just don't have enough time. I gotta pick my games like carefully so that I'm not wasting my time playing stuff. But like it looks really fucking fun. There's not much to say. It looks like Just Cause 3 a little bit, but it still looks fun as hell.
Yeah. It's just another one. I'm starting to get the samey feel from it. Mm-hmm. Sort of like what Assassin's Creed felt like for a while there. It's just like, oh, okay, they're re-releasing the game again. Neat.
I think that's why they stopped at Uncharted 4, even though they made another Uncharted game after that. But
it was like a budget one that used the same engine as Uncharted 4. It was just sort of like a side story. It wasn't anything major.
So, do we want to talk about KH3 right now, or do we want to save that?
Well, see, this is the thing, is like, there is one thing that's part of the Square Enix, or there's maybe two. There's two interesting things that came out of the Square Enix conference, and we're already going pretty long here. So, to be frank, there's not enough in the Square Enix thing to say we should dedicate that to Kingdom Hearts. Because there's like 2 or 3 things in the Square Enix thing that I'm like, oh, that's super cool. One I'm really stoked about, and then that's it. So I think we should just talk about Kingdom Hearts 3 now, because it's kind of important. Because A, it got a release date, a proper release date. Now, this is Square Enix, and is very, very similar to another game that took a really long time to make as well. So I ain't gonna hold my breath for January 29th, 2019. I am still under the belief that this game will come out in the next decade. That it is going to get delayed. There's no way this game is going to come out on the 29th.
I'm concerned that there was no Star Wars. Because it seems like such an obvious idea.
No, but they
didn't
see,
show
the thing
anything
is,
with it.
I pointed this out to a lot of the other guys too, is as cool as Star Wars would be in Kingdom Hearts, right? The problem with it is the fact that when this game was in full development cycle, when they were in the concept stages and building this, Disney actually did not own Star Wars yet. So, as much as it's like, it seems like a no-brainer, it seems like it should happen, it's just not in the cards. Because Hold
on. When did Frozen come out?
Oh, God. 2014?
They own Star Wars by then.
Yeah, but do you know how long this game has been in development? Frozen's probably the last thing they added to this.
What about Tangled?
Well, Tangled came out. Tangled came out before Frozen.
Like what?
The only thing that came out afterwards that's been shown off is Wreck-It Ralph, but it's not a world. It's just a summon. Wreck-It Ralph is just a summon. So maybe they could summon Darth Vader, but I'm fairly sure they didn't own. They didn't get the rights to Disney until after Frozen.
I mean, to be honest, like there isn't much that really. I don't understand Kingdom Hearts. I never found like the idea of, ooh, it's my Final Fantasy and my Disney, because I think part of it was too is like I went through like a phase of just not anything Disney. I just didn't want anything to do with, because I don't know if it's because I felt like I grew out of it, but like I just like it was something that I just didn't really care for Disney stuff, and Kingdom Hearts never appealed to me because of that. I obviously see it's got a huge fan base and people are really waiting for this game because this is like the biggest thing the Kingdom Hearts series has had since the second game. So
actually, Birth by Sleep is still probably the big, like, so, not the best selling, but a lot of people would point at Birth by Sleep was the last major one that came out.
So I'll admit right up front, I don't know much about it other than the stuff that I've done for just Organization 13, which you guys should check out sometime. That series still lives.
It's still out there.
I'm assuming it's almost been 3 years. I feel like Death Note L12 is going to send me another script soon. But like I don't understand Kingdom Hearts, so I don't really have much to say other than like
I actually do.
Yeah. Go ahead.
The interesting thing is I decided that until this game comes out, I'm going to, while I'm streaming, I'm going to stream all the 5 core games. So that doesn't include fucking Recoded and all those like to a point where they were so bad that they're just like, here, fuck.
Are you talking about like playing
cutscenes?
1.1?
Yeah, like 3 point, like 3 over 382 or whatever.
Are you just playing through the 1.5, 2.5, and 2.8 collections, or?
Yes, yeah.
Okay.
So just what is shown in those, and I'm going to be doing that until this game comes out, whenever that may be, because I don't believe 29th of 2019 is a real date. But regardless, they have always been an interesting enigma in my gaming play, because Kingdom Hearts came out in 2000, I think it was either 2002 or 2003. And I rented the first Kingdom Hearts. I played through Kingdom Hearts and I rented it. I think I rented about 3 or 4 times, and I got to the end and I beat Ansem. Or not Ansem, oh god, what's his name? I don't give a shit what his name is right now. But I beat that, and I forgot about the series for a really long time. I just never, I remember, and don't do this, but do this if you want to, I guess. But I emulated Chain of Memories, because I didn't own a GBA back then when it came out. And I remember playing that and being like, why is this a card game? What happened to my action platformer?
Dude, I think everybody emulated Chain of Memories. I'm pretty sure I did.
I know, and to think that they decided, when they remade it, they decided, the card game battle, let's keep that, right? So, though it's apparently super broken in the remake of it. But regardless, I fell off. I fell off of that train a while ago. Then I got a PSP for cheap, and as I was picking up Parasite Eve 3 or Third Birthday, they were having like a bundle sale that came with Birth by Sleep. And from there, I played Birth by Sleep, and I was like, holy shit, what have I been missing? There's a lot of stuff going on. And the cool thing about a lot of the Kingdom Hearts series is each one of them takes place during certain eras of Disney. So when you're playing them, like when you're playing Birth by Sleep, which is theoretically the first thing in the chronological order, if you don't include the movie that came with 2.8, it's the first iteration of the characters we will learn to know throughout the story. Okay. And all of those worlds take place that you do, like you actually go to. You go to Cinderella, you go to Snow White, you do go to Mount Olympus, but you have young Hercules. So it's like there's the sequel that was like before the original Hercules movie. Everything was in its infancy. It was when Disney was first starting out. Then you get to Kingdom Hearts 1, where it's a little bit more muddy on where they picked and chose. But I would always say that Kingdom Hearts 1 is sort of the middle ground. Is like that moment between what like old Disney and like 3D new Disney was. Right? And then Kingdom Hearts 2 takes place in what a lot of people call the golden age of Disney. It's like, in the 90s and the early 2000s with like Lion King, Aladdin, like Little Mermaid and all these things, right? So you get this sort of golden age of Disney, and now what Kingdom Hearts 3 is bringing is, it seems it's bringing the modern. So it's bringing the Pixar thing. So its focus is Pixar, which I think is pretty a smart move on their part, because a lot of people that will play Kingdom Hearts 3 will be doing this. But Kingdom Hearts 1, it has not stood the test of time as a game. But Kingdom Hearts 2 and Birth by Sleep are fantastic action RPG games. And to look and see what they're doing with 3, how they're able to incorporate so much random shit that you're like, no way. No way. Seriously, guys? Like, fucking boat combat and, like, summoning things and putting things all together, and then you think it's, like, so much, but then you go back and you play Kingdom Hearts 2 and Birth by Sleep, and you realize all this crap has been in these games where they have like little mini games or like cinematic finishers and other things like that have just been part of the series for so long. It's just now it's in glorious fucking 4K, and the graphics are so good that the characters look as if you're playing an actual Pixar movie. Like, you compare the graphics in Frozen to the stuff they showed in this trailer, and you realize that, man, they have been working on this for a while, and it looks polished as all hell. And the people that did get to play around with it say that it feels phenomenal to play. And the amount of combinations and everything that you can do, I really hope that Genie's back, because Genie was really good in Kingdom Hearts 2. He was a summon that you could have, and the amount of weird shit that he could do. And he was voiced by the guy that did Homer Simpson, who was doing his best impression of Robin Williams. But it was just, man, it was so, it's hard to explain to somebody that isn't really, I'm not really attached. I'm more attached to the Final Fantasy than I am the Disney. I'm going to say that right now, that I was always more excited when fucking Cloud and Tifa came and helped me fight Sephiroth, right? Like, that was what I wanted. I wanted more of that. When fucking Squall comes out with a mullet, and he's like, my name's Leon now, but I have a mullet, so that's why I'm not like, Squall.
No, you're not. You're fucking Squall. Shut up.
But, like, it plays into his character, because he no longer wants to go by the name Squall, because he failed his kingdom because it got eaten by Heartless. You're like, that's a Squall right there. That's fucking Squall right there, in a nutshell, and I like that type of stuff. So they always show off the Disney stuff because the Disney always has to be center front, because Disney Interactive is Disney Interactive. But I'm really hoping that we get the same treatment and love for the Final Fantasy, because this is the last of what they call the Xehanort arc. So finally the story will come to an end, or at least this, like, Sora's story will come to an end in this game. And all this culmination and this hype and seeing all the craziness that you can do in this action RPG, and knowing that you are actually in control, it's the same feeling I get when I watch DMC. Because a lot of the times games have these action set pieces and you don't feel like you're in control. But you are in these cases. You're the one that does the flashy things. So you can do some of the silly things that are in the cutscenes or what have you. And just to see it finally coming out and looking like a proper Kingdom Hearts game is pretty... I can see why so many people are excited, because it's not like Final Fantasy 15. It's a much different beast, because 15, it has the Final Fantasy moniker, but that's all it needs for it to bring sort of a hype to it. It like, its gameplay is so drastically different than the games before it that you're not looking at it and saying, this is the next Final Fantasy. You're saying, this is what they think the next Final Fantasy is. Do I think that? Right? Whereas in this is clearly Kingdom Hearts. This is the game that we have wanted since 2007, when they announced that it was coming to PS3. You know? So it's... I don't know. Like, I know I may be sort of fanboying a little bit about it, but I'm trying to slightly explain what this means to a lot of people, and seeing that they are going the Pixar route, that they are going with what is modern now. That shows that the game itself will feel modern as well, that it won't feel so crammed in the past. Now, I love going to Pride Rock. I really like the Lion King world in Kingdom Hearts 2, but at the same time, if it's not in there, I'm not going to be mad. I know Simba's a summon, which he's been since like forever. I think he was in Kingdom Hearts 1, he was a summon. But it's important to see this type of stuff, because with Frozen and Tangled and Toy Story and Monsters Inc., they're really trying to show off modern day Disney, the things that maybe me and you didn't grow up watching, but the people that will be playing this game will. They're at that perfect age of nostalgia now, being, between the ages of 15 and 21. It's gonna tickle the nostalgia of a lot of people, man. So
yeah,
I'm not. You know what? Fucking 6 months from now, the game could be fucking shit, and I could be eating my own fucking socks, but it doesn't matter, because I see why people are excited and why I personally am excited as well.
Oh, yeah, I see why people are excited. Kingdom Hearts never did that for me. I never I liked the gameplay and whatnot, but I have to agree with you. I would have liked more Final Fantasy and less Disney, to be honest. And the one thing that I think would have gripped me, and you've made a good point about why it's not in there, would have been Star Wars. But I don't know. I'm going to be honest. Probably not going to pick this one up. I mean, I never thought I was going to, anyways. But I know why people want this game, and you didn't have to go on a 15-minute rant about why you like this game, but you did anyways, and now I understand a little more. But Kingdom Hearts has always been that one thing that I find a lot of people like. It's hard to be passionate about it without falling into the trappings of it can't do anything wrong, it can't be this, or it doesn't have flaws, because it's not true, obviously. But you have to look at it on a much more grander scale in this sense. It's sort of like when we heard about Disney Infinite, people were really thinking, oh my god, are they making a standalone Disney-esque Kingdom Hearts style game? And then it didn't turn out to be like that, right? Yeah. And it really irked a lot of people, because it's so important. I'll be surprised if The Incredibles make it into this. I won't. They'll get in.
I think they may be summons. They won't actually be a world. There won't be an Incredibles world.
Yeah, I guess so. Let's move on from Kingdom Hearts 3. I think you've said your piece on it.
Yeah.
Just a couple of quick ones I want to mention. Metro Exodus is
it's another Metroid game.
It's another post-apocalyptic game.
Yeah.
Another post-apocalyptic game. Metro series is really cool. I have most of them. I haven't played them yet, but I want to. So I'm sorry I don't have much to say about that. But I mean, it's more Metro, which is good, because the original thing that sucked about Metro was the developer kind of got killed when they were working on the second one. And I'm glad that we're seeing more of it. So the series is not dead yet, thankfully. Ori and the Will of the Wisps was one of the first things they showed. And I know they teased this last year, but we get to see gameplay of it, and holy crap, this game looks amazing. I didn't play the first one, but now I'm just fuck, I gotta play the first one, because this game looks fucking amazing. I'll admit, I'm not good at puzzle platformers. I'm not a huge fan of puzzle platformers, but I really want to play this. Did you play Ori?
Yes. Oh, yes. No, I'm in the Blondie camp on this. This is super exciting.
Yeah.
I've been playing Hollow Knight.
Oh my god, right.
And it's fucking amazing.
Did you get it on Switch?
I got it on Switch. Oh yeah.
Yeah. That's
and you saw me playing Celeste too, right?
Yeah.
So I love those types of games. So
it's really I feel like this isn't the end for Ori either. I feel like there's so much more that they're going to show off. So I'm excited to see what's with that. And fuck, I need to play the first one really badly. Maybe that'll be a stream game. Who knows?
Yeah, maybe. There you go.
Maybe it could be. PlayerUnknown Battlegrounds DLC. Nobody fucking cares. Let's move on.
Just getting DLC.
Sea of Thieves DLC.
Yay!
Nobody fucking cares. Let's move on.
I mean, it's free. It's free DLC.
Yeah, it's free. Yeah. So the game that everyone thought was Tenchu, Sekiro Shadows Die Twice, aka Samurai Souls or Ninja Souls, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
The new Bloodborne game.
Yeah. But not Neo.
But not Neo.
Yeah, but not Neo.
But not Neo, even though Neo 2 was announced. Oh, fuck.
yeah, exactly, right? Yeah, it's sort of like...
that was the other thing. Samurai games.
Yes. There's quite a few samurai games to surround around, yeah.
Sekiro Shadows Die Twice looks really fun. I've only played a little bit of Bloodborne, so I can't say, how it looks. It definitely looks like a Souls game. I'll say that much. It looks like it's going to play like one.
It's sad because this is like they teased this, and a lot of people thought this was Bloodborne, but it wasn't. It was this game. Yeah. So the No Bloodborne 2, which is very sad because I love the first Bloodborne. I don't care for Dark Souls, but I love Bloodborne.
I have to ask this because they've made a couple of games where they'll make a Dark Souls and then they'll make a game like Dark Souls, but it's different. So Bloodborne is one of those, and there was like another one that I'm trying to think of.
Well, remember, Demon Souls, as much as people are like, oh, it's like Dark Souls, it's not. Demon Souls is its own weird thing.
Demon Souls is like Dark Souls 0, almost, I would say.
Yeah.
And the only reason the later ones are not called awful. Demon Souls because Sony owns it.
I mean, now there's a remaster. There's a remaster of Dark Souls that you may be thinking of, because that's the other one they've made recently. Okay, but that's maybe the remaster that is out on PC, PS4, and Xbox One, and it is going to come out on Switch at some point, which is really funny because it was announced on Switch first.
Yeah. But anyway, Sekiro Dark Souls or Samurai Souls, whatever this game is, it's a Souls style game made by From Software. It looks really fun. It's kind of cool that they're putting it in like a feudal Japan setting. You get to play like samurai. Yeah. That's kind of cool.
Yeah.
Like I don't really have much to say about it.
It's not Bloodborne 2.
It's not Bloodborne 2, unfortunately.
Yeah.
So, there's not. We don't really have anything to say about the Xbox One Game Pass or Fast Start, do we?
No, they're not really that important.
No. Yeah. All I know is that Fast Start is going to get you into the games faster. That's it. We've been going for a while. I'm getting pretty tired.
Sure.
I don't know about you. Do we want to take a break and come back to this tomorrow? And then, maybe split this into a 2-part podcast?
Yeah, I think we could do that.
Because...
we've been recording for about an hour and 40 minutes at this point.
This happened last year when we tried to do a podcast on E3. We got about halfway, and we were like, fuck, this is 3 hours. We got to stop. So guys, I think we are going to stop here. There's going to be a part 2 to this, so I don't know how I'm going to release this. I'll either release this one first and then release the other one like shortly after, but just stay tuned, because there's a lot more to talk about, and there's a lot of shit that I want to talk about with E3. We've only got the tip of the iceberg, because next up is Bethesda, and we're going to be talking about their special edition.
Oh, yes.
The best game they showed. But anyways, guys, thanks for watching this first part. Part 2 coming soon. If you want to leave us, send us comments, suggestions, whatever, hashtag HunterBasePodcast. Tweet it at us. Facebook page, send it to us. I don't know, send it to us on MySpace. I don't even think my MySpace is still up, but fucking just do it, whatever.
Tumblr? Tumblr. Yes.
Tumblr. Yeah, I have one of those.
Go to our LinkedIn page.
God damn it. And you guys know where to find us. Zeromaster LP, Zeromaster Reviews are my channels. I'm on Facebook, Zeromaster fan page, Twitter, Zeromaster, and Twitch, Zeromaster LP. Those are the things that I'll talk about. Where can they find you, Canadian Jutsu?
Just Canadian Jutsu everywhere. So on Twitch, I'm Canadian Jutsu. On both YouTube, both my abridging and my LP channels are just Canadian Jutsu, just with either L's or I's in front of them. And then, though my Twitter is Canadian Jutsu as well. So pretty much just search Canadian Jutsu and it's most likely me.
Yeah, it's most likely you in that case. We're not going to get into updates or anything like that right now. We'll discuss that more later on. But I will say that new episodes of Power Plays are coming with the two of us. So, get ready for that after the Anime North stuff. Blondie's gonna edit the Anime North stuff first, which is actually starts tomorrow.
Yeah. We haven't mentioned it in this podcast, but episode 32 of Naruto Bridge is actually out.
Oh my god, episode 32 of Naruto Bridge is out. Yeah. So if you haven't seen that, fucking go watch it.
We worked so hard on it.
But yeah, I think you guys are gonna like it. Anyways, we will see you guys for part 2 of our E3 recap. I'm gonna go to sleep because I'm losing my voice and I'm tired. So I want to come back and do Bethesda Refreshed because I have a lot to say about Skyrim Very Special Edition. And I'm sure you do too, and we want to be in our top game for that.
Yes, not just that, but quite a few things that came out of Bethesda.
But mostly Skyrim, a Very Special Edition. Mostly
Actually, no, unfortunately not. I wish it could all just be about that, but we got to talk about Fallout 76.
We're spending 40 minutes to talk about... I'm kidding. We'll see you guys in part 2. I've probably ended this 700 times. Goodbye.
Bye-bye.